welcome to I Can't Make Wednesday, an extra episode of Power Word Play, where a bunch of lovely players deal with our in-game trauma. Over to you, DM Josie.
Let's fucking do it!
Yeah! Intro.
Good intro. Way to go. So I guess we'll cut back in here.
Okay. Welcome back.
I don't usually do a title on I Can't Make Wednesday, but I'll figure that
Well, we are now.
Even if it's just like a white screen with like one of our PNGs just slowly spinning across.
I think it should just be my face. I think it really should. I think it should be my face with this.
Oh, I'll send a picture.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I think it should just be this going across the screen.
Yeah, I like that. I'll make sure that happens. Perfect.
Halloween has just passed, and so we need to bring the spooky vibes.
Yes.
So, some shit's happened. To the game, to us,
to everything,
to characters.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
At the beginning.
Return to Waterdeep.
Yeah, that's probably a good place to start.
Because I don't think there wasn't a lot in between, was there?
Mm-hmm.
In between Two Hills and Waterdeep.
No, not well. There was the travel back, and that was about it. And then pissed around for
far too long.
a couple of days.
Mostly like went shopping.
Yeah.
Yes.
We went shopping.
Had a good time with that. Saw a new favorite NPC.
Yep.
Who I hope
Started with a
we
Z.
see again. Forget his name.
I mean, he is like.
Is he still next door?
He's living there.
Cool.
I will find his name.
It's in the books.
Yeah. It's in the archives. If you really want to know, go back and re-watch the episode.
Yeah. Like 17 or something. I don't know. Or 18.
So I guess around that time, Kenny was no longer to join the table, like right around there too.
Right.
So that's worth a little RIP for, I don't know, the physical presence of Kenny all the time. But they'll be coming back, I'm sure, at different times. We sure hope so.
Yeah, I think that's the hope. I don't know that any one of us specifically knows.
Yeah.
I guess, right?
But they're always welcome because we love you, Kenny.
Yeah.
And Scree will continue to be chaotically played by DM Josie, I assume.
Of course.
Expect nothing
He's
else.
mine.
Are you imagining that Scree is going to follow us or will stay kind of at the hangs out?
Scree, I will be handling in my own way, but he will not be coming with you directly. There will be the opportunity for him to kind of circle back to you guys at some point, but
if it becomes appropriate.
If it becomes appropriate, if not, we can always make a new character.
Yeah.
So not the worst thing in the world, but a little bittersweet, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I mean, obviously, we all love Kenny. Had a ton of fun playing with Kenny.
Chaos
Kenny,
incarnate.
Yeah, and Kenny, like obviously, Kenny's been with the stream for quite a while, but even longer with us off the stream before
Since
we
the
actually
beginning.
started.
OG.
Yeah, and so sometimes you gotta say goodbye to PCs. Sometimes you gotta say goodbye to people too.
For now.
So anyway, hopefully we'll see Kenny again. I guess.
It's too bad that Amy couldn't make it today because I'm really curious how Rhaenyra will deal with Scree not being the perpetual sidekick.
Yeah.
Because they have kind of a thing going on.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, they had become buddies.
yeah.
She might go to Solo, I think.
Soul likes
Or,
being
you
everybody's
know-
friend.
Small one.
Ramsay Sr.
Fuck.
Because I know.
That was a twist that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, she does give off mommy vibes. She really does. So, how you feel about that, Mr. Fyland Jr.?
I gotta keep my mouth shut. Point of note here. If a friend asks you, hey, what's your imaginary father look like? Lie.
Don't say it's someone handsome.
Yeah.
Made him hot.
I didn't
Put the ball in your court.
I just roughly went, I don't know, kind of like this. Shit.
It's like you've never even been on Book Talk.
Nope. You almost lit yourself a damn
I
fire.
really did. I should be careful. Okay, I'm gonna move it back to the middle.
No, it's an interesting little scenario. I don't know how Ramsey's going to take it, or how well my father will take it. He's not the most committed man, as Ramsey is proof.
Yeah, I mean, he might be interested.
Exactly, that works for her. Not committed is what Rhaenyra loves to hear.
Yeah, well, I imagine Violent Senior. I imagine Jeffrey D. Morgan or
Yeah. Yep.
Negan from The Walking Dead, the guy with the bat.
Rugged.
If you remember any of
Handsome.
those,
Sure.
A little bit of an accent.
What else?
Did you ever watch Supernatural?
Oh yeah.
The Sam and Dean's dad.
Yeah.
I don't think you watched it.
I don't think I watched it enough to know
No,
who he is.
you probably know
I
who
still
Sam
know
and
some.
Dean
Yeah,
are.
exactly. Anyway, okay. A person who exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been quite a few things. Or The Boys,
The Watchmen.
The Watchmen. Yeah, he was.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
Moving on.
No matter.
Sorry.
He's yes. It's.
This episode is not sponsored.
I sure wish it was.
Me player, I'm definitely interested to see the interactions between said DM who has to deal with this shit and Rhaenyra.
You're not gonna like it.
I fully knowing that walking into this. Yeah, you know, like it's Ramsey's had such a shit life. What's one more turret on the pile? Like,
Aw.
it's,
Yeah.
Sad puppy boy.
like, it's almost fitting at this point because he looks at it and goes, "Well, at least I have another tie to royalty." So,
I think Rhaenyra just needs a reason to bug Ramsay too. I think that's the only way she knows how to show someone she cares about.
Yeah.
them.
yeah,
It's
think
to
that's
give them
true.
attention.
Yeah.
Right. Negative attention.
I want to see.
Right.
I really
Yeah.
want to see Rhaenyra and Wintry go at it.
Sorry. Rephrase.
My sister.
Yeah. Rephrase.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Didn't think about that. No, not in that context. I want to see them
Love to
fight.
see it.
I think that'd be a hell of a go. But yeah, it's interesting because I know that's going to come up if that angle gets pursued. Like, at some point we are going to have to deal with the messier side of Ramsay's family,
Yeah.
and like you guys kind of heard in that one session, like they don't leave survivors and they have no problem leaving a mess. So it's going to be interesting, very interesting. But I will not call her mommy. I can't.
What's even the point there?
Yeah. Damn you, Amy.
All right. No mummy, but teasing.
Hey.
Gotta be teasing.
I don't have to feel half as bad as Soul, because Soul is going to be the one who has to interpret when Rhaenyra's bugging her to message my father.
Yeah, that's definitely
So
gonna happen.
That could be awkward. Yeah.
being Rhaenyra's personal sex machine.
Oh,
Again,
I hate
rephrase.
that.
Sexting machine.
Okay, we're gonna for Amy. Here is your TikTok for the week. Just yeah.
Janelle just saying, Darryll, rephrase. Rephrase.
I don't know if that makes my mind dirtier or yours, but
We're both stuck in the gutter. Let's face it.
that's awesome. Well, this is fun. I never get to sit on the opposite side of you
I
to
know.
make fun of you.
Right.
I get why Amy's all about
Yeah,
this.
right. You're in Amy's spot too.
Cool.
So that's kind
I'm
of where it
just-
comes from.
Exactly, the aura.
The aura.
Yep.
Also, like I have a fire skull, so I feel very powerful today.
Yeah.
Flaming skull. Don't you dare! Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, no, there's that whole kettle of fish to unpack. But back to the storyline.
The important bits.
Yeah. No, we got back. We had a few days of shopping, and then
Shopping was fun.
yeah.
That was actually, I can't remember if we really talked about it in stream or not, but that was actually a reasonably significant point for E-Shift too, because I don't think she had ever been to Waterdeep, but it was one of those places that she had fantasized about, like, oh, this is the big adventuring world, you know,
Yeah.
these big cities and stuff. I see of people coming from Waterdeep and going to Waterdeep all the time, and to actually go there, and
I loved the
buy
whole
stuff.
bit with you in the market.
That was fun.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
That was just like the
Experiencing some wonder
Yeah.
from a new character's perspective who had never seen this kind of stuff
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
YOLO.
you needed a Disney princess song for that.
Yeah.
Like,
Just kidding. Yeah, that was really fun. But
yeah.
I don't know if we want to like get into that part of it, but I was starting to really understand how significant that whole thing was for E-Shift, and like all the events that led up to obviously her departure and all of that. And it's just kind of fun, and I always kind of just remember how great this table is and how organic it develops, you know, like the actual experiences of the characters.
Emotional abuse.
Right.
Yeah.
Emotional abuse, trauma bonding, yes, yeah,
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
But first we went to a party. That was
Yeah.
also fun.
And that whole scenario is when we got introduced to different other
Yeah.
characters.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So,
Whose name I
like-
remember. His last name I remember.
Definitely.
Mendelith. I
Mendelith?
think
Mendelith.
Mendelith.
Yeah.
Yep, that one.
It's close. So it's
There's a lot of
close.
letters in there.
Yeah.
Elias.
Elias.
Dr.
Depends on where you
Professor.
Dr. E.
emphasis.
Yeah.
On the syllable.
Elias.
Syllable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got to see our brand new character at the table.
Wow.
who
The introduction
we-
with her was so much fun. Oh
I,
my
I
gosh.
thought that was really good.
Yeah, just having like the organic like work in and everything. Me just sitting on the stairs waiting.
Is it time yet? Is it time
Yeah.
yet?
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds like my character.
And it was like an hour or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're stuck there for a while.
Yeah, which happens sometimes, but
That's right.
That whole-
we get stuck in like an RP loop where it's like we need to deal with this or that, and then we don't get.
What were we saying again?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, positive.
Celester shows up.
Cattle prods everyone in.
so how did you decide on Elias, on the
Yeah.
like the mechanics, but also like the character?
When I was like thinking of character ideas, I was just writing down like it would be like one sentence of this is a concept for a character, and I had like a list somewhere. There's only like 3. I didn't get very far because I think I put Elias's first, and
Yeah.
then I was trying to do other ones, and I'm like, no, this one's just like the best.
Couldn't get past this.
Yeah, I was just like, well, let me like try and incorporate things that I kind of know, like circle that I know about. I was like, well, I spent so much time in university, I know the academic side of things. So I'm like, let's center something around that, and then I was trying to think of other things to center around, and I'm like, no, like this is it's there, like
That's it.
he's right there. Yeah.
You're also like actually really smart. Like
Yeah.
not just like have been in
Yeah.
university, but you're like actually a smart person.
Oh.
So, you know.
I don't feel like it when I'm playing a liar. So I'm
Just because
like,
you have no blood magic doesn't mean you're not
20 intelligence is a lot. So yeah, I mean, I put like a lot of like thought, or I try to put a lot of thought at least into like some of the things that he knows and like the wording and phrasing and how to make it sound smart. Lots of Latin translations. Lots of looking up real diseases, science and stuff, and then just
I'm gonna take you.
you're talking with me. Yeah. But like I had like the main idea of just kind of like fantasy magic, like doctor basically. Actually, the main source for like my idea for Elias, I was watching a lot of House and
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
Nice.
Now that we know
that
that.
kind of clicks.
Yeah.
Do you have a limp?
Well,
Not a limp.
they almost had worse than a limp in the first episode.
No, yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Something.
But oh god, I was watching way too much House. So that was in my head, and then I was like, oh, this is the source, and then I'm like, you know what? It's House, but it's
Yeah.
D&D.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dr.
So-
D&D.
Yeah. And then from there, I was just filling in the gaps.
And you specifically wanted to like play a caster because you wanted to use that intellect essentially.
Yeah, because I was like, I feel like wizard fits really well for like an academic kind of
Yeah.
character.
Totally.
I don't know. I always lean to casters. Like I'm basic. I was every single time I was like, ooh, sorcerer.
Yeah. Me too.
One of each.
Yeah, both.
'Cause
Yeah.
you have so many more flavor options when you have spell, or you have more readily available flavor options when you have spells. Like obviously
Yeah.
people can do some like it's possible, but it's just way easier when you have a cool spell.
Yeah, well, it's already written in there for you, basically.
Yeah.
So you just kind of like add a little bit onto it instead
Yeah.
of how do I make this like sword swing look cooler for like the
Yeah.
15th time. So,
Yeah, fair enough.
Don't use a sword.
Yeah.
Use giant scissors or
Yeah. I
Ramsey's
snip.
claw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dissection.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How do you think he's integrating into the sins?
I think he's coming along. Yeah, I think definitely for the first few sessions, I was like, how is this gonna work out? Like, how is he gonna fit in? I
Because
feel like
we're kind of a wild bunch sometimes.
Yeah.
And he seems kind of like a little more reserved.
Emotionally stable.
Yeah.
For now. So far it appears.
That you know.
We got a streak.
Yeah, I'm kind of imagining he has very much like he has been around academics for so long, and he has like the posturing and everything, and then kind of like can let that go a little bit in some scenarios, and just seeing how fucking bonkers yonkers off the walls everyone is just like flabbergasted at first, and it's like, what the hell is this? And now it's just having kind of found himself looped into this is like I guess we're here.
Well, yeah,
I
'cause you
guess
kind of
we're
got
in it.
you kind of got thrust in with Vajra being like, "Oh, you're gonna go with them, right?"
Yeah, I think for him it's a bit of like being thrust in, and it's a bit of like this is what he was looking for.
Well, he also took very, very much interest in your armor at
Exactly.
first, so it's like
Yeah.
that was the there's the hook.
Yeah,
Let's see how
he has
real
a reason
he
to
is.
be
Yeah.
here. Yeah. So
But
just had to get
we'll
past
find
all
out
the
which words.
craziness.
just starting
Yeah.
to get a
We're
little
tipping
hint
into it.
at.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't want to dive too deep into that because I feel like you have some things
Yeah.
to slowly reveal
Mhm.
that you don't just want to like spill out of the table.
Bleh.
Because that's not fun.
No.
I mean, it's fun to talk about stuff after they happen,
Yeah.
but like when we can kind of like anticipate something's coming, it's
Yeah.
better to like let that
Yes.
happen, as we say, organically
Let it go.
Yeah.
in the table.
Took like 3 years to find out what Rhaenyra's god is named.
Yeah.
She wouldn't she just wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah. She was super
Took like
stoked.
20 years.
Crazy, for the longest time, you guys
Like,
didn't even know where she was
IRL.
from.
It's true.
Like-
Yeah. It's like we would have a conversation and be like, I have my past.
And it's dark and mysterious.
All right, girl.
Yeah, definitely was searching for that like tie-in to start kind of spreading
Yeah.
the like Elias kind of.
That was an awesome way to end that one.
Yeah, I felt like it was a
That
good
was
place.
And if anything, I feel a little bad because a bunch of stuff happened around it,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I think that as time goes by,
You know.
that's going to become more significant, and that will, in time, be a bigger moment than it seemed. I think it was a big moment for you because this was your first reveal.
Yeah.
But obviously we also then, like I say, just packed a bunch of stuff around it.
There was a lot happening. Yeah.
And so,
The slow clue in will occur when it becomes a little bit more
yeah.
overt, right? Like it'll be fun to kind of see it progress, I think.
Mhm.
I'm excited. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I love it though because like I knew that Elias, as a character, was an academic, was into research, took an interest in Solo's armor, and
kind of blood magic kind of too.
and I guess
right?
that too, yeah. And so it's like, okay, clearly he has some interests, and maybe this is just like, he's along to just record. I don't know, but yeah, it wasn't anything I expected, and it added a little like depth to that character that I didn't expect. And so yeah, I can't wait to see where it goes. Like that's something that I say to Josie a lot, is that as much as Sola's had the spotlight for a while, I love when we get into like other characters' backstories and their motivations and their quests or whatever, their personal quests, because it's fun to see other stories too, and so there's a story that's going to happen there that I can't wait to see unfold. Yeah,
So fun.
It's all part of the bigger story. Like it all adds to it and makes that.
Yeah, which we're seeing more and more
Yeah.
of, right? The puppet master.
Dance.
That's
I think that does go to show like how well you as a player are fitting with the table too. And we're glad to have you, so that's really nice.
Happy to be here.
Maybe it's not so much after the first time,
Well,
but
yeah,
the very first intro.
And again,
that was epic too.
yeah.
the watchers don't know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it was before.
What was it?
Yes, it was
Oh, I guess it was.
It was
Yeah.
just-
No,
it
it
was like
wasn't.
right
Yeah, it
before.
was.
Yeah.
Which is too bad, because boy, would that have been fun to record.
That would have been
Yeah.
fun to record.
Yeah.
And so anyway, quick.
You are the reason Eon died.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
I am well aware.
Yes.
But quick synopsis: Kenzie did join our table for 4 sessions or something
Something like that.
before we even started recording,
Yeah.
and essentially played a character who we kind of rescued and thought was gonna be
Maybe don't give it
along
all,
for
because
the
I think we
ride.
recorded part of that, didn't we?
No.
Did like the
Nothing.
the practice ones?
No.
No.
None of it at all.
No.
It was the one that the audio that failed on it.
Oh.
No, one of the audio was with you talking to your guy, right?
Mm.
That was after
Okay.
the events of.
Sorry.
And
I
so,
just thought it might have been.
but so then anyway, as it
We
turned
don't
out,
have
then Kenzie sort of flipped the switch and became a bad guy, opposing the sins.
Oh no.
Became this Linnea character.
And totally
who
tricked us. We
tricked
were
us.
not expecting it at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And
You were a child.
I was a child. Yeah, I was a little shit. It
The reasons why we have trust issues.
was- exactly.
That's the reason.
Definitely.
And yeah, it didn't happen right away, but eventually we did fight Linnea again, and that was when Eon died. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, so as a result, we're all a little skittish of Kenzie.
Where's that other shoe?
Well, that was another consideration was making Elias is how to make this as different from the Linnea as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
To, like-
Stodgy.
Yeah, exactly.
Attire.
It was very intentional for him to kind of be an ass
Yeah.
and not be like likable.
That's so great.
Love that.
That is so
Love
great.
that.
Yeah.
However, much like God after the flood, our DM said he would not do that to us again.
There will not be rain.
I'm just firing brimstone instead.
Yeah, well.
But
you can ask about that.
who asked? Did you ask if you could join the table, or did you offer to join
I
the
offered.
table?
Yeah, you
Or-
offered.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, of course, of fucking course.
This is the best table ever.
Like, duh.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Think.
Yeah. I'll get back to you in like 3 to 5 business days.
I just remember too when after that first
Got
time you
defended
were playing through, all of us were like, we should invite Kenzie to play with us full time.
Yeah. Yeah, we were.
Yeah. That was awesome.
We also protect this table quite a lot. Like we've had people join us, and people have had to leave even since like the before times.
Mhm.
The before times.
The before time.
Yeah, but like we do really protect it because all of us also play at other tables and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And the fact that this one has been going on for like we're on 3 years now.
Just
aren't we?
about 3
Close.
years.
Yeah.
It's like just 3 years in April. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're getting there.
hmm
technically,
It's crazy.
But I mean, we've been playing almost every week that entire
For
time.
that time,
Like we've missed some, of course, but like
Yeah.
rarely.
this is our 80th meetup to do Sims.
Gosh.
Not including the other Can't Make Wednesdays. So
Can't Make
Actually,
Wednesdays and all the mini series.
yeah, and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
you know, just in Sins, our next session is our 80th one. In total, it'll be our 33rd of our recording, which is pretty freaking sweet. Pretty sweet.
Mhm.
Sick. Quiz time.
Oh.
Whoa, we're gonna
Quiz
spice it up.
Okay.
Oh.
What do you guys think the average AC
Ah!
of the Sins is?
Are we
Oh, I brought it down
including
a bunch,
each?
so-
Yeah. So the current
Isha for Eon.
Current average, including Eon.
17.
All right.
18.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's getting bad. We can even see it on there.
Hybrid or regular?
Whatever's on your sheet, mate. Which is
Okay,
hybrid.
so it's hybrid.
Yeah. It's always hybrid.
Well, it's just easier so I don't have to switch it, and I can remember. Okay, one last, but
I'm changing mine. 19.
19.
No, putting back 17.
I
17?
changed my mind. 19.
19. 19, 17.
I'm gonna say
16.
16.
I think I'm gonna have to say 18. I tried doing the averages and it's.
18.
That was my guess. I changed
Take that,
17's
take that,
too
take
low.
that.
17's too low. I hope that's not the average.
Kenzie also proves I'm the smartest.
I made an educated guess.
Because yes.
Sola makes a mistake going with her heart.
Oh wow. You really are a character.
18
Wow,
is the average AC of the Sins.
that's
Is
not
it-
bad.
Wow.
Is it problematic that Sola kind of throws off that by being so much higher than the rest?
I mean, kind of, but also like not really. Like most things aren't gonna hit you with just attacks because you're built to be pretty resistant. Like most to hits for this proficiency is like 9 to 11 that I play around with, and that is not really hard for you to block, especially with shield available.
Right.
Like once you put that 22 up to 27, it's kind of like nothing's really gonna.
Not much gets through.
Nothing's
Excuse
much
me,
to
baking
right?
powder 27.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
with shield.
Yeah, because of that multi-class into sorcerer, which gives you so
Oh,
many good things.
yeah.
We have
It
to
is
see
strong.
that.
disgusting
multi-class.
multi-class.
Yep.
Very cool.
Because that's something I wonder sometimes, is if it makes building an encounter difficult, because you need to give your mobs too much plus to hit, but that makes them really powerful against someone who has lower AC, like Elias. I don't know.
I think,
Or if that's even a consideration.
yeah, I
We
think
gotta take you shopping.
Sorry.
honestly, I
I
think
want to go shopping so badly.
that's fair. I think part of the problem is when you get to higher level, the range for the rolls gets higher.
So wild, yeah.
Right? Like, because I'm saying I'm rolling between 9 and 11, that can be anywhere between 10 and 14, right? Or 10 and whatever. Whereas on the high end, we're talking about in 30s.
Yeah.
And then if there's any pluses or
So wild
bonuses
swings.
going to that, right? It can be some pretty wild swings, right? And it's definitely very noticeable when anything under 20 will miss you, whereas that is like the golden number to hit for everyone else,
Yeah.
right? On average, that's just a 10 on my die.
Yeah.
Most of the time is, that number. Or
Yeah.
maybe like a 1 lower. So you're dodging that most of the time. But then, deck saves.
Yeah.
Which has come up a few times, not a lot,
Yeah.
with the spellcasters you guys have gone against, but
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I make a lot of deck saves. But,
I wonder why.
Yes, you're tanking a lot of that. These hits. But at the same time, it's not like you're on the adverse end. Not like you're turning around and doing massive amounts of damage on your turn too.
usually not.
Sometimes, yeah, but a lot of times you're
If-
fixing us fuck ups.
Yeah. If anything, actually, what I've noticed
Which we
recently on the topic of AC is it actually makes it almost hard for me to tank because the bad guys will learn that they can't hit me easily and then kind of
Go
just
away.
ignore me. Which, so, that's good and bad because
running around
means,
the battlefield.
It means that I am still around to heal people and keep other people up, but it makes my hit points less useful because I'm not doing stuff with those. So
it's kind of the issue with smart enemies, and if you're a little bit more discreet with your kind of maybe armoring or anything like that, but you are pretty much like the quintessential armored cleric, right? Like you are fully plated up. You got like the really nice,
glowing,
the glow stick, the glow stick feature.
I am magic.
The shield, right? The shield has a symbol of Larvitaida. You have a mace, which is pretty. You don't even use it.
I was gonna say,
right?
It's for show.
It's for show. It stays around the belt,
it's
right?
there, but it's
so like
you've swung it once.
Yeah,
once, maybe twice.
Maybe twice. Yeah.
So that does play a part. When it's just like you guys have maybe not had super dumb enemies in a little bit, so fair enough. But the super dumb ones do kind of bounce off Sola and then go, oh shit, we need to go do something else. So they usually spend at least one action going, this isn't going to work. Which is part of getting like some of the worst out of your AC. But the smarter enemies will definitely just kind of be like, well, what are you going to do about it? If I don't
find a different way to
make you annoying, right?
Yeah.
And that might just be more concentration spells that cause problems. Right? Because if they are forced to hit you and forced to make you make saves, then it becomes more of an issue.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
True.
But
True.
Depends.
Yeah, and I usually have something concentrated.
Yeah.
But depends. Anyway.
Yeah. So I'd say like not totally. I think we're just getting to a level where it starts to get swingy.
Sure.
I think it's pretty decent though too. The AC is the average. I think I have the lowest.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
You have the average, Ramsey.
Yeah.
You have the average. You can't have the lowest.
My AC is 14.
Yeah.
So.
And Renera's AC is not super high.
No, not
17,
for
17.
Yeah.
I think that she probably could use an armor upgrade of
boost.
some kind too, because she gets a lot of use out of her cloak of displacement.
Yes.
That helps
But,
hugely, yeah. But
it would be even more powerful if she had higher AC.
Yeah.
Because
God, if it was on like you
yeah,
walk around like a god.
At
Just
one point, when we were like exploring items, I was like, "Oh, I'd really love this cloak of displacement." And Joseph was like, "I think we're not going to do that."
Nice try, but no.
Yeah.
And that's fair. That's really fun. Yeah.
We'll discover what 9th level spells are like real quick if that happens.
Well, it's just like, at one end it's like, this is the real world, and like, in some ways, yes, encounters will not change. In other ways, it's like, okay, but do you guys want to have fun? Like, like I kind of need to know what you guys can do and what will challenge you to like do that. And it's my job to then put that into a scenario that's like semi-plausible that you guys can latch on to and be like, well, okay, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
There's a dragon that's digging, why not? Okay, it's underneath the city. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, it is.
Even recently, that was like
Thank you.
the because we've been through some shit in the recent few episodes. That
In
like
one day.
all in
last
one day. Like
the
Oh my
last
God.
7 episodes
It's
were
been
one
one
day. I think that's got to be a record.
funny. So to interrupt.
yeah.
When we went into that day, I was like, this is gonna be a RP episode, and so I picked all kinds of like
Oh
RP
no.
spells.
Yeah.
And it's like that's why I had Zone of Truth. I was like, this will come in
Jesus.
handy when we interrogate a noble.
Yeah.
That wasn't even useful until like the second or third episode. Like,
Nope.
That's like at least 14 hours of gameplay for one day.
Right.
Like that was an actual
Like an
legitimate
actual day.
day.
Yeah.
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 We played an actual day. We LARPed.
Oh.
Yeah, like that
We eat
was
5 encounters a day. Not my fault.
That's what it says.
Yeah, I just read the book.
the ball, then the shenanigans at the ball, then
Yeah.
the
ball was
meeting,
Yeah.
and then after the meeting, go do stuff. All of a sudden, okay, cool, we're ready to leave Waterdeep and head off on our adventure. And hey, what's that red smoke cloud doing?
Yeah.
And all hell breaking
Multiple
fucking
episodes
loose.
after that.
Yeah. Getting to the tower, seeing, how they left, what's his face? All strung up. Yeah, I never remember his name. Artemis, thank you.
Yes, Ravenclaw, Ravenfoot.
Hey, what would you rather? We forget his name, or you end up with another Fizzle scenario?
I mean, at least you remember Fizzle.
How can you forget Jizzle Fuckbottom?
I don't know. I mean, you seem to really like that name, Darryll. So
It was creative. It was good.
That was really
I'm sure
nice.
that's why.
Again, organic
Fizzle is a
character
great
development.
creative name by itself.
Fizzle has become the single-handed, maybe outside of Horse, greatest NPC we have had in this thing.
You think so?
Yeah.
He's
He is
pretty awesome.
He's
done some
Pretty
cool
good.
stuff.
top 3.
Yeah.
Like Fizzle, Horse, that combination
Fizzle and Horse.
of the
I love
two.
Single instinct.
Like every at first it was you and Horse, but then it's just like organically shifted into now the two of them. Like
Yeah.
they could have their own sitcom kind of a thing.
They can have a little spin-off series.
Yeah.
He keeps showing up just at the right time to be epic.
Somebody needs to play Fizzle in the E-Shift one shot.
Yes, there will be a niche
One shot.
someday.
We'll get to
Because I
that.
want to
Yeah,
play.
we'll
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so like after that, then there was the rush up the tower, and
Mm-hmm.
the way that before we went into that brawl, I thought I fucked up again.
Going ahead of us.
Yeah, like I thought it was another situation like we ran into at Two Hills or at the Forest Edge when it was like, cool, you guys go this way, I'll try and draw them that way, and it was like,
that
shit,
doesn't work.
they didn't take the bait. Fuck. Like, I thought it was another one of those scenarios where I'm like, man, after I said it, I'm like, I probably shouldn't have done this.
And so we get to think about it for a whole week.
Yeah, exactly. How can we rectify that situation? Well, we all just run up the tower.
Yeah.
But on the,
That would actually also be what we would do. So.
yeah, on the same.
No one leaves Ramsey running alone, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Make sure he's within eyesight at all times.
Lesson that Sola has learned.
Yeah. Well, it's just, that's exactly what he would have done. Like, in the end, ever since the time down in the mines, he is held nor responsible for everything that happened with E-Shift, everything, all the shit things that we have been through. Like, in his mind, it keeps leading back to Nor. Even to the point, like, when, at the ball with his father, like, he didn't want to fight anymore. He didn't want to fight with his father. He was kind of, show me the way. Teach me, O wise one, because I just want to use this to end this one. And then still in the back of his head, like, I'll get you in the end.
Yeah, but you're not my biggest concern anymore.
Yeah, like,
He may have just been moved to epilogue priority.
yeah, like, it's,
Or you
you've
go to
been
group
replaced.
therapy.
I can go cry to my new stepmom.
So we got a couple of topics here.
Yes.
We have questions.
Yeah.
More questions.
More
and,
questions.
And we also could talk about.
I have so many things I want to bring
Ramsey?
up about that ascent, like up the tower.
Yes,
Oh, gosh.
Sam.
Let's
That
talk
as
about
well.
that because there's a lot. I think
Yeah.
let's focus in on a few things, right? Like there was, like I said, like the ballroom, the kind of like setting up the council, which kind of I think was just like here's all the characters. I'm sorry, the voices. Voices.
Hey, you did awesome with that though, man.
Yeah.
You were juggling many hats.
I do love when you do voices.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Joe's being real pleased with himself.
Okay, where's that on that one?
Too much. More than I would like. But yeah, so like you guys kind of got some information there, but then like the entire time in my head I'm just like
But they all
Yeah.
sound like distinguished. I'm like, I can tell who's talking
Yeah.
each time.
And I was like, the red smoke's coming. Red
Or
smoke's
you were excited for what was
Yeah.
coming, what you knew
Red
was
smoke's
coming.
coming.
Meanwhile, we're having fun.
Yeah.
I was honestly just like, thank you for giving my high charisma character
Bunch
a
of
ball.
stuff to do.
Like, thank you. That was fun.
I have one thing to mention on that. The fire dancers. I don't know why you used an acid spell with them, because if you used your fireball up there, there's going to be like some like, oh shit, nice, and they would give you like a little bonus.
Oh,
'cause
really?
They're like fire dancers. And
I
they're
was
like,
trying to use a cantrip. Like, so that's what I was trying to
You
use.
use vitriolic spear.
Because that was my intention, and then I was like if you go back and watch it, you were kind of like, no, that's a leveled spell, and I was like,
yeah, it's a little.
the only thing that I can use that is
Yeah.
what I described
Yeah,
is like vitriolic spear.
that's totally.
So that's why I did
That's
that one.
fair.
But also, Ishif does not know how to use her magic. Like, it just comes out the way it comes out. So yeah,
Totally
it
fair.
made
And
sense.
so in a way, it made
And I
sense.
wasted a 4th level spell. So
But you
that's
could have
fine.
wasted a higher level fireball, which may have had a different effect. But anyway, back to
Why did you tell me
Blackstaff.
that?
Anyway, back to Blackstaff Tower.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Black
I'm
Staff
just
Tower. The sort of like epic rush up.
Did you guys catch? I didn't actually know I did it until afterwards. But as we were going up, we can't run. It wouldn't be right to run. Which, like,
Who said that? What do you-
Ishif did on the way up.
Okay.
And I was like, this is like the exact opposite of the conversation with Eon.
Oh no, I very much.
Everyone did.
I was
like,
so.
I didn't do it, like, because I didn't know I was doing it. And then afterwards I was like, oh.
Really? Because and when you're like, oh, we should go fuck this person up, and I'm just like.
Make the right choice, Ramsey.
That oh man.
No, I wasn't doing that on purpose. I really wasn't. And then afterwards, it's like, it's again this like organic thing that happens. It's like so interesting when you play long enough.
Yeah, but it
Better.
was a great example of how those two characters are polar opposites.
Yes.
In a way. So yeah.
Very very much so.
But then we did go up, and then commending you, Josie, too, because Noor is an asshole.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Like, he's
We-
cruel.
You have successfully made us hate Nor.
Yeah. And the little
He's
like
earned a spot on the bar top.
it was supposed to be Eon, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
Artemis was supposed to
That
be
was
Eon.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think you afterwards we
We
talked about it,
recognized
and you
he made
didn't
us
know what it
cringy.
was or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that like touches like that are like
Yeah, just like
all of us will
twisting
die
the
to
knife.
kill Nor.
Well,
we will all die to kill him.
It hits
like,
you past the character.
Yeah.
It hits you where you're like, you just made Joffrey. Okay?
Yeah.
Like,
And I love
He's
his
cruel.
his attitude too as a character.
Yeah.
Because he's not just like, "Wah, I'm evil." Wah." You know,
Sorry, he's not like I missed it.
he's got this I don't know, this like
Arrogance.
psychopathic arrogance.
Psychopathic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah, dead behind the
Yeah.
eyes. Like
Um,
I'm sincerely scared at the table. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to this
You
guy.
almost feel like he wants to be friends with us, but on the same hand, it's like, but I'd kill you in the same instance.
Yeah.
You don't know what being friends would mean.
Yeah, that's like it's.
He just doesn't care. I feel like he doesn't care either way. This is all just something he's doing.
Bigger plan.
Yeah, just something he's doing. He doesn't care about us at all.
Right.
It's just fun.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so
It's gross.
definitely one of the more successful baddies
Mhm.
in our game.
Hell yeah.
I'd say. Yeah, so it's a pleasure when we get to face him because we're like very invested in it. And I think that the fact that we are so invested against him is kind of what set a lot of what happened in the episodes there in motion.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we were very invested in stopping him from getting into the tower, but then Sola, if I were to focus on me for a second, was also very invested in undoing some of the damage he had done, and invested in what he had done to Eon, and like wishing in that moment that she could undo the thing, like undo what had been done to Eon, but she couldn't do that. She could only undo it what had been done to Artemis, and so that was what made her act there. So anyway, lots of levels of investiture.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the whole sequence of events there, like you said, it's almost like a character flaw for Sola, where she's so laser focused on doing what she thinks is good that she doesn't so much think about the consequences of good. It feels like to do something there is just the right thing to do, and she's just going to do it. And yeah.
Well, and then having a villain that knows that, played into it, and knew going, I'm going to bait this hook, you're going to bite, and that's where we're going to get you.
Oh, he only did that to make you run up there.
Well, even still, that's what I mean. Like, it works.
Yeah.
It was, come on, fishies. You know, like it's.
And he was ready.
Yeah, like full-heartedly, we lost that fight before we walked into it. Even though we walked away, we all walked away from it.
Sure. Yeah.
We still failed in the end.
Yeah. It was a degree of success.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? The goal, you just have to think about it a little differently.
Yeah.
Right? Like some of these encounters are big fish.
Yeah.
Right? And your goal is not to swim into its mouth.
Yeah.
Right?
Which was that one.
And you did more than that. You annoyed the fuck out of it and took him down to under 150.
Wow.
So, pretty good. Pretty freaking good, guys.
150. What a horrible thing to say.
Oh, God.
You can thank all your potion use for that one.
I love haste.
Anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, like you were saying, like, and then we all tried to do the right thing, and like, okay, let's get him to safety, and there was no scenario of us winning in that. But I don't mean like being the bad guy, but like if we'd stayed, if he came back, we're toast. We left. He just came back and finished what he was doing, and.
It was unclear. We didn't have enough information to know
True.
what was safe or where. Much like if that scenario was real. Right? Like it's not super clear. One thing I am really curious about though is at one point I looked out a window and there was some big thing jumping and we never figured out what that was.
No.
Yes.
You did, yeah.
We did see a thing and we didn't figure out what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
I was assuming it has something to do with this.
Oh, was it Wintry?
That's my thought on it. That's what I thought.
You
Is
did
when
see
she-
it jump to the northeast direction.
Yeah.
Ah.
You said that, and I was immediately like, it's a fucking werewolf.
And you knew the
It's one of yours,
You
yeah.
It's one of my ideas.
saw Ramsay's father there.
Yeah.
We saw Ramsay's father where?
At the party.
At the Lord's Palace.
Yeah.
So that
And then
okay.
the Blackstaff Tower is just a little bit
Yeah.
Not
south
far.
of it.
Interesting. I saw Big Daddy.
You saw something?
I saw something. See, I was thinking it was like, because I'm thinking like the hells have opened up or something. So I'm thinking it's like a Bulgara or like some kind of.
If you've seen the creature before, I'll try to give more descriptors that give it some clarity.
But
Eshif wouldn't have seen shit.
yeah.
No.
Right?
Well.
I saw. I think. Well, I guess I would have seen.
Even if you had like.
Yeah. But. No, that's really interesting. Okay, that's good. Because I was like, that's a loose end. How is that going to
How do we
come?
tie this up?
Yeah, how's that going to come and hurt us? It's going to hurt. Ow.
Yikes.
So, yeah, that's crazy. I do kind of love that whole. I mean, that encounter was also very fun, and you got to do smart things, which helped a lot. Which was
Saved
really
our
nice.
asses.
But my favorite part of it, honestly, is like the end of it when we're deciding what to do. And I'm not totally convinced that if we would have stayed around that things would have worked out any better for us. You know, it's a little bit annoying to be like, that kind
Running
of
back
thing.
and forth.
Yeah, but I don't think we made the wrong choice. I think it was an ambiguous choice. And that's really fun to have too, is to have an ambiguous choice. And then to see like a real consequence of that, right?
Yeah.
But
So-
did you also see what the positives were? The benefits to what you did were?
That we didn't die.
You guys brought Artemis back to life.
Yeah,
Who,
okay.
who turned the communications back on, who sent reinforcements to Scree and the Hags Alley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
okay, yeah.
So if that hadn't happened, I'd been making some different rolls.
We wouldn't have had a home.
Or it wouldn't have had a scree or a dart.
Yeah, true.
It's possible.
It would have been something would have happened. Oh, see, that's super interesting. I
So
didn't think about
like
that.
it does everything you guys do, I do take into consideration when I'm planning
Yeah.
my next stuff. So don't,
Right.
you know,
And so it's really interesting too, because then Sola obviously was beating herself up
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, I made a mistake, and as a result,
You still made a mistake.
one potentially did. Still made a mistake.
Jesus, shots fired.
But there were also hidden positives that she's not focusing on because she feels too bad about the mistake she perceives she made.
Yeah.
Now we can't even metagame them.
No, I'm
that's
just
the fun
joking.
of these.
Yeah.
Right.
That was super epic, and it was super Sola,
Mm-hmm.
and that made sense for sure.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
for
have had
sure.
any other way.
Um,
I get.
yeah, she had an opportunity to, like, this was the closest she could come in that moment to righting a wrong from her past, and so yeah, she took it. It's so funny. Anytime I've actually raised someone from the dead has been only NPCs so far.
Spending so many diamonds.
Spending
or
so
whatever
many
it is.
diamonds.
Yeah, wait, how many have you used?
Well, 2 so far.
Okay.
Which
No, we can get those replaced.
I wonder if we'll find that guy and his kid. That was horrid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Tough.
horrid.
I know that you have a sore spot about children.
I do. I have a really hard time with children suffering.
Yeah.
I have a really hard time with that. So that that would get me up a little bit. I was like in between sessions. I was really glad the kid was
So,
okay.
but
Yeah.
as far as we know, we saved the day there.
Yeah.
So maybe we can just
fingers
pretend
crossed.
Yeah.
that ended.
Yeah.
The day there.
I have a sore spot for children.
See, trauma bonding.
Yeah. Oh man, that was gross. And actually, that was another really fun encounter because we kind of glossed over that one because it feels like a literal eon ago. But that was a fun encounter because of the fog of war element and having to make decisions around that. That was kind of that was
Well,
nice.
Style possession.
Yeah.
Well, and I like
yeah,
how we're
it's
starting to
weird.
be able to use like other spells to try and figure out these problems. Now, so
Yeah.
it's like combat stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
that's why I was just like, oh, we can't see shit and we don't know where this thing's coming from. Brand of castigation.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
clever.
Hey, like it's
That was
there.
That was
Yeah.
clever. That was
Like, it's,
really clever.
you know.
Yeah.
I love opportunities like that where we can.
Yeah.
You're still doing it. You're still trying to like survive in this, but like, don't fight your way out of it.
Yeah.
Think your way
use
out
some
of it.
smarts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Elias at the top of the tower. Oh, can I investigate each one of those columns and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
literally playing chess with Nor and going, ha ha.
Yeah.
Your contribution was much higher than if you were just throwing lightning bolts.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what I was like,
like-
I'm not going to be able to contribute as much damage
Yeah.
compared to everyone else. So I was like, let's figure something else.
Yeah, and, like severely stumped him again and again and again. So
And this is another thing that I want to give you some credit for too, because you gave us the opportunity to do those.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And that's something I love about the combats that we get into is they're very dynamic.
Yeah.
I've been at tables where we approach the bad guy and we stand next to him and we just take turns rolling to hit and we either hit or not and then that's it. But nothing happens.
Yeah.
But we're constantly moving. We're constantly dealing with an additional thing. We're juggling some other resource.
Yeah.
Like there's more going on.
that's
Yeah.
been all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like
you're great at building encounters. You build
Thank
good
you.
Damn good
encounters.
combo.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
yeah.
You
it's
build
super fun.
frustrating encounters.
Yeah.
You guys
Uh,
build strong characters.
Well, I guess that's kind of the thing, right? Because like as strong as we get, everybody else gets strong
Good
too,
Mm-hmm.
and so you gotta get smart.
Well, it's just like, not unless you're building a character that's very average at everything, you're gonna have encounters that will be harder for you.
Yeah.
And you also have encounters where you will shine.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like Ramsey's a quintessential example, I think you pointed out, right? Like the one counter with Grimspitter and Leia where you couldn't get to hitting them the entire time. Versus this combat with Nor, where one of your turns literally did over 100 damage.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Without holy weapon.
And I was gonna say, and that's without the big bomb going off.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's why, like, so you've got high AC, but you're not as good at Dex, and then you're you're kind of like the barbarian that's running around the map or whatever.
He's
like,
got some.
Yeah.
But more to it.
Yeah. Like everybody's kind of got their weakness, and that's also like. I feel like we're fairly sophisticated players.
Yeah.
Like we're a table of people who understand how to play the game, right? And so like we understand those limitations. So I think even if one turn someone takes a whole bunch of damage or something like that, okay, the next turn we know how to get out of the way, or we know how to get help or whatever. Or like even I was staying close to you for healing in that one encounter.
Perk you
whatever.
out,
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Well, and it's even like I find we adapt really well on the fly.
Yeah.
Like it's, oh shit, I just watched you get hammered by this.
Yeah.
Okay, how can I draw their attention my way?
Exactly.
So that you can
do something.
link up with Sola, or Sola can just sit there and sit in front of you going, you can't hit shit, you know?
And that makes it really like fun because I get to actually like it's like you guys are paying attention to combat. It makes me pay attention to combat. I'm already doing it, so it's just kind of like okay, sweet. So I can actually like play off stuff you were saying or stuff you were doing. I can actually make this be not just walks up to you and hits you.
Yeah.
Instead of is like you're hitting my trees, attacking you. That kind of thing, right?
Actions have consequences, man.
Yeah.
I love that about our game. I love that actions have consequences in our game.
Yeah.
And we keep seeing that over and over. I love that. I love it though, because it just makes it feel so like, it feels so real and intimate, and like, I trust everyone at this table so much, and we've talked about this before, but like there's a lot of us at this table who are like, we're not really like that in the real world. We're not really like opening, or well, like me specifically, like I don't really open up to people in that kind of way, like emotionally. So having this table and having this outlet every week is so healthy. Even when we're like crying and upset, it's like that was a good cry. I feel good about it. So yeah, that's so special. But it was just crazy, and oh gosh, I'm so scared to find out what he does with some of those items. I'm glad we got the mask. Though I did send Josie a message because I said, who has the mask? Because I thought Isha took it.
No, I still have it.
Oh, thank God. Right. Yeah, because I was like, so she just disappeared with the mask.
Yeah.
So I do have a question. Who's going to take the bag?
Of holding?
Yeah.
Bag of holding?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess
Someone or...
Well, anyway.
Or you should take it.
We can
It's got
do
the
me or
buttons.
you or
Before our next game. Yeah.
So,
you kind of know everything that's in it now.
Yeah.
So I feel like you should just have it.
Sure, I'll take it then.
Yeah.
And then...
Makes sense.
Because the bag of holding... right. The bag of holding doesn't exist.
No,
It does. We have a real one.
We bought a new
real
one.
We bought a real one.
Yeah. that's
Okay,
really
so we
That's
could make a
courageous to have.
second bag of holding.
We could if need be.
Yeah, because
Wow.
that's something like with, I mean, we'll get to that at one point probably, but like with Eon, I have to refigure out
You get
my
to make new
infusions and stuff.
infusions.
Yeah.
And who
I think
wants
you
stuff
could just
and-
make better infusions. There are
Yeah.
cooler things.
There's
than just
way
the
cooler
bag.
things.
There,
Because we
yeah,
have a bale of holding now.
Yeah.
We
yeah,
don't
there
need
are.
more.
And
That
we
has
need
like
to look at it.
nothing in
Yeah.
it.
We'll get to talking about her though, but
Yeah.
I'm still figuring out what she's gonna look like.
Yeah.
So
But-
yeah, we survived the Norification.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Got away again.
Huge shout out to you, Kenzie, because you did not join in on easy combats.
No.
True.
Talk about the worst time to come in. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my
Like
god.
even that like the one with like the draconi in the back that just kept sniping lightning spells at you guys and shit.
Yeah.
There's a few I was like, this is kind of looking rough.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no,
Yeah.
wasn't it first turn? You boom.
Well, I know.
Welcome to the. Oh.
Well, I was like on death saves one time, downed another
Yes.
time.
yes,
Like,
yeah.
oof.
Yeah.
Giving me a run for my money.
We also like
Yeah.
haven't learned what your weaknesses are and like how to protect you and
Yeah.
like there's that integration period kind of thing.
Yeah, there's still some of that for sure. Well, hopefully the AC will not become a weakness anymore.
I can probably make you like an AC infusion. There's got to be something.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can make you something.
They can wear
Armor?
full plate armor.
I can do armor too.
Because you have a
Why can you
Cleric.
One
so
level of
close.
cleric.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
That's
Yeah,
fun.
we're gonna fix that then.
We're gonna fix that.
Plate armor.
Yeah.
Clank, 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 clank. Ha!
Yeah.
Like the only
That will
reason I
help.
didn't take like good armor to begin with, I was like, he wouldn't wear it, and now
He's an office guy.
Now he knows you should.
he knows he should, exactly. And I was like, this is the progression that will happen, and I'll pay for it, but it'll work.
nice.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What about the mask though? Because
That is going in the bag.
the mask is
Yeah.
going in the bag. It
Well,
does so
no.
much cool stuff though.
It does, but
But we don't have any.
until we figure out.
Dangerous.
It's probably fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Totally fine.
I mean,
as
it
far
also
as
makes
evil ancient artifacts go, I mean, I couldn't be more clear about that one being bad.
Yeah.
It has a lot of cool stuff on it, though.
Are we
Yeah,
concerned
like, there were
about evil?
A ton
Like-
of really great
Yeah,
effects.
No.
Yeah.
It
Lots of
No.
makes
great
your
effects.
No,
charisma
whatsoever.
progress,
I
and
know.
they'll suck.
We don't have anybody left who does that, so
Yeah.
Just
No,
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra kind of.
Oh,
Paladins
yeah,
are
Rhaenyra.
charisma
Benefit her
based.
in a bunch of different ways, actually.
That's
So she'll be
fair.
putting a
Yeah,
dragon
so
mask
she-
over.
Over her dragon.
Yeah, that's
It'll
good.
fit
Her
perfectly.
face.
Meant to be
Clunk.
too bad into the bag.
It probably is smart
I'm
to sit
just
with
wearing
them.
face space.
But we can I did identify it, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did
Yes.
identify it.
You never identified the iron flask, ironically.
Interesting.
You did identify.
No, but we did
We had just
really
Oh,
good
yeah,
history.
yeah,
of
yeah.
Art
our-
history.
Yeah.
You rolled
Yeah.
a good check and,
Right.
and got some information on it. Otherwise, yes.
I
Enough
still
to
think
know.
that we should have put the Everlove into the genie lamp. I still think
Yeah.
that would have been really funny.
MMA brawl. And
I think that would have been so great. We would have solved Scree's problems. We really would have.
Scree's the only one that can enter into it, though. I don't think he's ever been able to bring anyone into it.
Scree, hold on to this flask when you get inside.
Yeah.
Open it up.
Yeah, there you go. It's the big hole.
Wait, I was gonna say,
Black hole inside of a black hole.
as we go open the bag instantly, throw the lamp in!
Just one feather. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Josie just shuts his laptop, campaign over.
And sorry, you can't come back.
History's gone.
Not anymore.
The world is done.
Yep. Imploded on itself.
That's so crazy.
Folded in. Blink.
And then we did finally get to go back to the Hague's house,
Yeah,
where
the renovations were just complete and destroyed again.
Sure, we're gonna spend some more money on that shit, aren't you?
Some really
300
crazy
gold,
shit
motherfucker.
happened.
Lauren, what do the zeros mean?
Yeah, because like I've explained, is like all I know about when you're rolling D100, it's like because if you roll a certain number, then it actually rolls over, and it's not like you're actually rolling a zero. And so when I saw that zeros dice, I was like, no, this is not right. There's like I'm missing something.
Well, put it into context why we're at, what do the zeros mean?
Like what the whole backstory of it.
What did
Or-
you do?
How does this all
Okay,
work?
sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Sola decided a long time ago that she was going to divine intervention until she could bring Eon back.
Like a week ago.
Yeah. And so
A long time ago.
I remember you saying
Many months
way
of time.
back ago, like
when it first
first thing,
happened.
yeah.
A week
This is
in
what I'm
game.
going to try.
Oh, in game, yeah.
I can tell you.
Actual
Don't
months
keep track
ago
of that
in real time.
Yeah, IRL.
But so anyway, so divine intervention functions as such. You need to roll a D100 and roll lower than your cleric level, which Sola has 10 levels of cleric currently. So I had to roll under a 10 on a D100. Not impossible, but something that certainly could have taken an eternity. I basically was just resigned to spend my divine intervention forever.
What did you do?
Sorry, I'm rolling dice.
Okay.
You're casually rolling dice. You're only supposed to do that when you're trying to intimidate
I'm
us.
sorry.
This is a Can't Make Wednesday.
This is a safe space, damn it!
Safe space.
And so
Do I
anyway,
need to pull out Gerald?
I was
Well, that's what we
thinking,
named it.
That's what came out of my mouth.
I was thinking that Josie did give me one free roll of a D100
I did, yes.
that one time.
I did.
Yes.
As we were leaving,
Oh, okay.
which I forgot about at the time.
Cool.
Fuck that.
You rolled an 85.
And I rolled an
Oh.
85, yeah. And so anyway, that was like not a real divine intervention, but it
A freebie.
could have, freebie, could have worked. And so anyway, my first real divine intervention roll, I rolled under that 10. I rolled a 3, which, like I said, not impossible, but I could have rolled dice for many days of in-game play, which could have lasted months.
Yeah.
With the way that we play.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was absolutely shocked when the very first time I tried, I rolled a 3. And I kind of mentioned to these guys too before, I thought that it was really interesting that I rolled a 3 because there are a lot of significant 3s in Sola's life. The whole hi, hello thing, the 3 Valkyries. When she speaks to Lyther-Tida, she says, "My light, my lady, my love," and there's probably some others, but
3 siblings.
yeah, I have 3 siblings out there in the world somehow: Dore, Mifa, and Tito.
I can't wait for you to decide whether these people exist.
Oh no, they do.
I mean, I feel like Grandpa could have just been a dick and made them up.
And so anyway, that was just really cool. So was I immediately after I rolled it though, I was kind of like suddenly in a moment of shock because this thing that I had decided that Sola was going to do for quite a long time had suddenly happened, and it's complicated because the character I had decided was going to do this, but in that moment I essentially realized that I had kind of not thought about the consequences of that because something that I didn't do beforehand, and for this I apologize, was ask for your consent, whether that was actually something you wanted. Because I have like 2 little girls that we are raising, and we're teaching them that consent is an important thing. And I was so wrapped up in what the character would do that I didn't think about the actual person it affected, which is you. And
You are so sweet.
what we found out then afterwards was that, in a way, passing this divine intervention, it brought a character to life who had their life taken away without consent, but that was a part of the game. Like, that was an agreed upon thing in the game, that every time we play, we put our lives on the line, and those lives could end, and we consent to that. But you had then started a new character that you were enjoying, and by me passing this divine intervention, I essentially forced you to choose and trade one character for another, and that was not something you had consented to. And like I said, I was so wrapped up in the choice of my character that I didn't think of the ramification of you and your characters. And as we found out in the end, that it actually was almost the same thing, but in a different like storytelling beat. It's like you didn't lose your life, we did still trade. We still lost a character essentially. We lost this other new character that you had been playing, and so and so that's why, like, as I finished that role and I like looked across the table and
You were wrecked, dude.
I was like,
you were upset all week.
on one hand I was like super excited because it's like, holy shit, it happened, we did it.
Yeah.
But then it was like, oh no, there's like gonna be a consequence here, and that's why I was like, I'm suddenly like, I'm sorry that I did that. So anyway, yeah, I've kind of been sitting with this guilt in a way because
I know you've been real sad about it.
Yeah, because like I'm joyous that we will have Eon back, but I don't actually know if that's what you wanted.
Yeah, well, it hurt my heart, but not my feelings.
Yeah, good.
I guess,
Good.
because also, like, especially because I really do like to play with just whatever scenario comes at me, and so it's like that is the true way that Solo would have reacted in that, and so I really enjoy responding to that. But the timing is so unfortunate because I feel like I had maybe 2, maybe 3 sessions where I was starting to actually understand this Ishif character, right? Because it is weird to jump in and, like, I know it's weird to join a new game, and I had like this extra element of like, I've built actual feelings for a character with these other people, and then like trying to separate that out when I'm interacting, and I don't like change. So that's not true. In this context, I don't like change. So I was really just starting to understand Ishif and, you know, figure out what was interesting about her, and I was starting to figure out this like really neat thread that I wanted to pull on about like Ishif kind of has this like disassociation happening right now, where I think like she actually really believes that she's dead. Like she fully believes that, because everything that's happened since her community was destroyed has just been not real. Do you know what I mean? It's been like God level stuff. And it's been like the adventure story she's always wanted, but also somehow it's like being naked at the front of the classroom in your nightmare. You know, it's like she's always wanted this, and she's like the least interesting person in the room and the least capable, and like has never been in that situation before. So from her perspective, she's totally trauma disassociating, truly believes she's dead, thinks that she's in hell, one of the levels of hell, like looking kind of for the other love or something like that. And so I was kind of excited to pull on that thread a little bit. And then this happens. And so I had kind of started to anticipate that like someday Eon is likely to come back, and, you know, I could make a choice at that time. And then I just thought I would have more time with Ishif is really what it is. And so I didn't want her to like die, and I didn't want her to leave. And so in my typical fashion, I did not make up my mind in advance. I just kind of like ruminated on a little bit more and a little bit, and I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, well, under what conditions would Eon stay or go if she came back? Because I wasn't even sure she was coming back, right? Like, and I've talked about this because now we understand how the Everlove works. I was like, I don't know if Eon has a soul. Like, I don't know if she has no body. It was disintegrated, and I don't know if she has a soul. So I don't know if she can come back. Like, I don't even know if this is a scenario. So let's just see how this plays out. And so I thought about all of that, and then I thought about under what conditions Ishif would stay or go. And like going into the game, I was like, Eon's obsession is her found family. Like it is. She's obsessed with blood and with tinkering, but like her true obsession is her found family. And if she became aware that everything had gone to shit and you guys were in the middle of it, like she would come back. She would sacrifice herself like over and over again for you guys, right? So she wouldn't say, actually, no, I'm good. I'm just going to go into the forest, you know, hit me up sometime. She would not do that. Like I couldn't tweak any scenario where that would happen. And on the other hand, Ishif is not really feeling like she belongs. If somehow Eon and Ishif both ended up in the party, like one becomes a DMPC or something like that, like Ishif would feel really weird, right?
Yeah.
Because she had kind of slotted herself into this group as like the Eon slot in. And so that's how she could kind of like justify, because there was a space for her there.
Yeah.
But she does not have enough, she doesn't take up enough space on her own, ironically, to fit beside Eon in this group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She hadn't gotten to that point yet. Like it could have been, if she had been adventuring with you guys for another, I don't know, year or something like that.
Yeah.
It could have gotten to that point where she had built more relationships and there was more history there, and she had a deeper reason to stick around because she cared about you as people rather than you as pawns, right? But that just didn't make sense. It totally made sense for her that she would leave the situation rather than try to deal with the acknowledgement that she didn't matter to you guys as much as Eon did, right? So then I'm just kind of considering all this stuff and not fully making up my mind. And I just wanted to see how it played out, because again, I'm not sure if like Eon's going to be able to come back, or if there's going to be roles, or if there's going to be that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then when Eon comes back and she's totally here, all right, she's here. So Ishif's leaving, and in the moment, I'm like, you know, what makes this interesting? And she would do it on her terms. She would leave without telling you guys, you know.
Yeah.
She would go and she would take something important, right? So that she kind of matters to you in some way. Like that's kind of how I imagine it. She's taken something important, so you have to kind of think about her every once in a while.
Yeah,
you know, you have to consider her.
Absolutely.
She matters, right?
Yeah.
So, and I don't know whether that would have been totally conscious, but I think that's the biggest reason why she took the flask with her.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that has her god inside. You know?
Yeah. But she kind of doesn't believe it's even real, though. That's the thing.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I imagine she might actually kind of act sort of even more chaotically the further she goes. Because, like, the same thing was running up that tower. That's scary, and she doesn't feel qualified, but, like...
Fuck it.
This ain't real anyway.
That's super funny.
Right?
You know what Ishif said to the Darryll to reassure her? This is real. It's okay.
Oh, really?
Because the Everlove was asking if it was real.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. I think that's kind of true. It's definitely
retcon.
I see it as kind of a disassociative. Like my impression of her is like I was actually trying to imagine her getting like a little bit more disassociated, like a little bit more like again slightly headed towards like Harley Quinn. We were talking about like Heath Ledger's Joker, like slightly towards Harley Quinn, just like disassociated, happy, you know, chaos machine. And which is also, that is a fun character to play because I like playing chaotic characters, and it's fun to try and navigate that edge of not being like the not fun chaos at the table, you know, like be chaotic without like derailing everything. Like, so I was trying to navigate that, but anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gave Ishif a beautiful send-off.
Yeah.
I really thought that it was very touching how you played all of that out, and the fact that you did it without knowing you were going to was phenomenal. So...
And still leaving it very open-ended.
Yeah.
You
It
know?
just, like, it felt perfect.
I know for a fact, like, that's not the last we've seen of Ishif Yara. Like, it's...
Just
I built so much backstory for her. We didn't have enough like campfires. I built like pages of backstory for her. Ewan has no backstory. Ewan literally has zero backstory.
Her backstory is the sins.
Her backstory is the sins.
She's living it.
Yeah.
Her
She's writing it
backstory,
now.
I think, is happening.
Yeah.
It's that's kind of frightening. Actually, this is the backstory.
No, it's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's super cool. I you know, it's interesting when you're playing this game because it's like nothing's ever static, right? Like, and I love how much transformation, both on the positive and negative side, there's been to your guys's and characters. Like Rhaenyra having just lost an eye.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was.
Eon's gonna have an opinion about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dungeon.
Eon coming back, having all those tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which we need
To buy.
Yeah.
On your shoulder.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting a few different
Yeah.
things changing, and I really enjoy that. And it always feels like there's something I could pull on right
Mhm.
now, which is perfect.
A lot of the lore is coming together too, which is really fun.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how you'll slot into this,
Mhm.
because it's all kind of coming together, right?
Yeah.
Having the Everlove tie into Lythertida's
Oh,
That is
story
interesting.
Wow.
was
Yeah.
like
And Beelzebub and Nor and like all the things kind of now starting to come together. And
Well, for the longest time, I thought like the Everlove was bad.
yeah, well,
Like
the
secretly
possibility
now.
existed.
Yeah,
She kept
Because
saying she was great.
she seemed like she was manipulating our
Yeah.
friends in
The
some
Everlove?
way. Yeah.
I told you the Everlove was
Oh.
great. Right from the beginning, and it like never deviated from this message.
Guess we should have drank the Kool-Aid. But and then to turn out that well, so far, like, oh shit, we might have been wrong. Like they
Were we? Are we?
like, it's still very much up in the air, but it's like okay, they got used by the King of the Hells to rip Lythertida in two.
Mm-hmm.
Like just all that time, which was seeded earlier on with like with the imagery on
Yeah.
the moth,
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew he existed, but we didn't quite know the full story, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so is that a future plot line? Is getting these two back together? Like, is that
Oh, for
realistically?
sure. Yeah, and I think I knew that already too. Is that's kind of like the quest that's been laid out before Sola
To put them
Yeah.
back together?
to
Well,
somehow reunite
Yeah.
the sides to
I guess so.
Lythertida.
Yeah, I guess so.
But now I know how it happened.
The beginning.
The beginning, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Pieces of the puzzle.
So that was wild.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to say we had pulled that wine over here.
Yeah.
To
Ooh,
toast
right.
Eon.
Yeah.
Maybe we ought to-
Sisters.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
are we gonna have a quick pause?
Sure. All right, we are back.
We are back.
And we are lifting a glass to Isha Fiaro,
Eon
who we,
Tink.
and Eon Tinker as well, who I think we want to see back to Isha. We all want to see back again very soon.
It's bad luck.
Yeah.
No,
Right. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. To Ishif.
Which we already have kicked around the idea of like, there's more to Ishif's story,
Mm-hmm.
and so somehow we could explore that with her own miniseries or something, essentially.
Yeah.
And
Next
like,
time we get break,
I'm
we'll-
already like, what character can I make that Ishif would just love,
Well,
I
I
wanna
have some
make
ideas
that
of where she
family.
would go,
That's great.
what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that family that
That's
she wants to find. I want to make it.
Yeah.
Because, I feel like we as a table owe it to that character too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because she was a really cool character.
Yeah. And she definitely wants to find a family where like she's the dad. Like she wants to be like the coolest one there for
Yeah.
sure. And she'll
Yeah.
like love everyone, but like she needs to be clearly the like best in her mind, right? Like she
The
needs to
leader
be
of the outcasts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Going up to
exactly.
Icewind Dale is a perfect place to be.
Yeah. Get a whole bunch of people to go and try and kill a dragon because that's still
Yeah.
On your list.
it's the list.
That's so cute though. It's like one person's like the mom, the kid, the wine on.
No kids.
The dog.
The dog. The Everlove. Yeah.
Oh God, Ishif has her own horse. talking to the flask.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. I wonder if she can. Like, I wonder how that works.
Hello. Yeah. Just,
Can the Everlove come out? Can you interact? You know.
Speaking of, another question that I don't think we can answer here, but that is like another like mindfuck thing, is I mentioned to Josie, you probably know what I'm gonna say, was like, so the Everlove, we contacted the Everlove, and then we took the Everlove and put her in a iron flask.
Mm-hmm.
So does this mean that we essentially stole the Everlove
From the king of the Hells?
Asmodeus? Because I thought the whole thing was that they had just enough juice to get out, but they were going to need somewhere safe.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like...
He probably won't mind.
Right. So we stole a god from another god, like a lesser god from a greater god.
Yeah. From the ultimate greater god,
like the
who's
ultimate
probably very active in the current takeover of the material plane.
Yeah.
Probably. Probably has something to do with. I'm gonna guess he has some part to play in this. Just gonna guess. Could be wrong.
Fuck it, let's fight the devil.
Oh god. Side quest.
Just a quick jaunt down to the 9th level.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are so cute.
We'll spend a day in hell and it will only take us 47 sessions.
Get a nice day trip. You know, we'll see
Full
the
separate
sights.
campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You come back.
You meet Eshif there. It's a whole thing. Yeah.
Oh.
I think that'd be fun.
Anyway, that's just kind of wild to think about.
We've made some decisions.
Choices have been made.
Choices have
So
been made.
true. They happen.
I'm a little bit nervous of getting back into Eon because I kind of like forget her vibe and it's so different. I have to get back into like my little
hide under the table.
well, not fully, but
and because you said something you really enjoyed about Eshif was that you could not be so quiet. And just before you lost Eon, you were kind of starting to get Eon out.
Really?
Eon was coming out,
and so, maybe we'll see some more progression in that regard because Eon kind of has been through this big thing now. It probably changes a person. Who knows what we might see, I guess. But
well, she is like her character sheet will be significantly different. So I think it is a reasonable time to say that she's changed. Still kind of finalizing that, but she's definitely going to be stronger because her original stats I rolled absolute garbage.
Very average.
Yeah, below average.
Below average.
They were below average. At the time, I did not know how badly I rolled when we started playing. But so she'll be getting a little bit beefier, and also been kind of thinking about like how to apply her stat increases because, for example, I still have the headband of intellect, so maybe I don't need to stack int because I have the headband of intellect. But realistically, from like a story standpoint, that's a stat that would have gone up.
Yeah.
And then originally, I really enjoyed taking wizard for her because we didn't have spell power.
Yeah.
But now we have a wizard.
Now we have a wizard, but I still want to make sure I have spell power because the way I built, like, so Eon has this whole flavor about her that is like situationally important spells, right? Like in a lot of context, she would do something that's not a damage spell that would be very helpful, and I kind of think that's how she would still, web and darkness and like that kind of stuff. I think that's still how she would interact, right? She would try to like obscure, restrain, buff, like she's still trying to do that kind of thing. So also kind of looking at like if she loses the wizard, and me and Josie have talked a little bit, and she goes all in on Tinker, right? Like on Artificer, like how that mood, that vibe can be imposed on that. So looking at all that kind of stuff. But a cool thing, if I take all Artificer, then I've got 4 attuned slots, which is really nice. So I can start like really taking on magical items, which
because you didn't do that before at all.
no, but I can really start attuning, and it gets higher. And
I think
so.
if you go full Tinker, like I would say like if you go full Tinker or even like a level of Cleric, like one level multi-class, I don't care. Yeah. But like full or mostly full Tinker will give you, I think, 5 attunement slots near the end.
Yeah.
And in my head, that's like, you tell me what you want to create.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if it's big enough that it uses all 5 attunement slots, great.
Yeah.
You know, so like you can start thinking up like, do I want to create like a gigantic spider that moves around with me? Do I want to create like a suit of armor that has multiple parts that you have to attune to? Like there's a lot of different ideas, and you know, just putting that in there because that's literally part of your kit. It's something to think about and something to craft and something we can work towards.
Yeah.
It's like later game, but we're getting to the stage now where I can start to throw in some stuff, which is fun. But I think I like, as long as y'all are okay with the pace of this kind of like a little bit of a slower game, I'm enjoying it.
No, it's good. Like we have time to enjoy the levels we're at.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's moving slow.
No, like it's more. We're always more about what our characters are doing
and feeling and experiencing.
Than like gaining levels or anything like that. And you know, we'll go many sessions without needing to touch on half of what our character can do, and that's like we don't even notice because we're just having fun.
Oh yeah.
And remember that you guys still have a blood pact with Eon, and I think that carries through. So that is going to have to be significant because it's significant to her.
True. No, it's significant to Sola. That's why she was so dedicated to bring you back. Yeah. Too, I think.
You got something that belongs to me.
Man. Yeah.
I will say though, like you saying that you're unsure of how like to act. I thought like you jumped right back into it. Even that last little bit at the end where it was like hops up with doing like the hospital gown thing, running to the workshop, and just the
But that wasn't me.
That was me, buddy.
But I appreciate that though. It's nice that you were so immersed in it.
Which person?
There was a little bit. It felt real, hey?
I'm like, if that like, that would be it though. It's like, cool, I'm back. What the fuck did you do to my workshop? Like,
yeah, that was so true.
That made me nervous. I was like, I don't want to talk.
Yeah, you don't
be talking.
Because you don't want to do too much for Eon. Because you don't want to take her voice away.
No, and I had also already said, I'm like, it's weird for me to have someone else play Eon. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it. Like, I don't think I could have any of my characters be like a regular NPC. Yeah, it's just weird. It's weird to me because they're like they're real people to me. You know, I have feelings for them, and I don't want to see someone else do it. It's weird. And it's like hearing your voice on the radio or something. It's weird.
And it's your character. It's you. It's your voice. And like you know, if Ishif stuck around and became a DM PC, that would be weird. That wouldn't be right.
It would feel weird. She'd need a reason, and her reason would have been, I'm just gonna go into the forest because that was always her dream, is just to go into the forest and not interact with anyone ever again except her spiders. But not anymore. So.
I'm looking forward to when you get the chance to play Eon again, because it'll be a huge shift, but you'll get to now narrate from the perspective of Eon, and what does Eon really think now that she's back?
Yeah, it'll be interesting too, because also remember, she had a slightly different perspective of Nor than the rest of you.
She was like, "Oh, this guy's cool. He wants to show me all this power in the blood." And
blood
this
magic.
Cool blood magic.
Blood magic.
This whole like river of blood.
There's still a whole like Ramsey and Eon left off on.
We did.
Yeah, that's right.
We did.
We got in a big fight.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why he took it so badly.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch that because there's been no time passed for Eon.
Yeah, it'll be like you just step right back into it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like nothing passed.
Ah, yeah, I gotta go back and watch that. There's that, and then also Eon was like totally casually starting an Everlove cult, but I don't know if she's still interested in doing that now that she's actually met the Everlove, and also like her sister apparently.
She might.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of vibe.
Same kind of vibe. Yeah.
It's more the blood magic.
More the blood magic.
It's power.
Yeah.
She has to reassess some things, so that I'm sure we'll adjust and see what feels right for her. but I don't know if she, and you would maybe have some idea, but for her, you know, it'd be very nebulous, the idea of the Everlove.
Yeah.
Where it's just kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm back now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do my thing. Where's Lash? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Is Lash back? Yeah.
I didn't even think about Lash, but like when you smelt him or whatever,
Yeah.
he came back. I was like, oh yeah.
That was a beautiful
'Cause-
point too. Where
yeah.
you're just like, and it's just
Because
I'm
Lash
too
has
tired.
8
Yeah.
points.
I am too. No,
Yeah,
like
I don't care what you read.
yeah, like
I'm a little imp.
and this is one of the few times like I could say like Ramsey felt happy having his family with him, like Sola being there, and
Yep.
you piled up under the table, and just like it's okay again.
Mm-hmm.
My family's together. We're okay. This will be okay. Even the shitheads here, like you know, this is okay.
Yeah.
What's gonna go on?
I wonder.
It's such a nice, bittersweet place to end. And it's so nice that we ended up being able to do I Can't Make Wednesday here because there was just so many things to...
Well, when you were looking up, it's been a hot minute from, because yeah, we did the one from after the miniseries.
Yeah,
and
for our actual campaign, it's been
Yeah.
like
It's been a bit.
12, 13 episodes. So.
Yeah.
just a few.
Yeah, something like that. Well, should we round table Q&A? If anyone has questions for anyone else. Do you have any
Sure.
things, any moments you thought were interesting?
I have a question for everyone. Is what other character do you have a pending conversation with? Like a deep moment that you need to have with someone? What? Me first?
No, well,
Too many.
depending on how it goes, but
Yeah. You want to have a conversation with me and Elias.
there's one like separate conversation.
Together.
Together, but separate.
Like it's there's definitely got to be something. I figure between Ramsey and Eon. That's you know, where do we go from this? And then I think, at least I see it like he's a little fucked up. Just everything, leaving the tower, seeing that estate, knowing his family did it, getting there, but like I've got to push that away right now because there's so much else going on here. This red smoke, this Nor, everything, like and then but yeah, definitely, and then the way you ended the one episode, it's like
Yeah.
I can't wait to find out more about that.
mhm.
Neither can Eon.
And then I think a lot of it too is like he's gonna like again, Soul is the warm blanket. Soul is his guiding moral compass at times, but also okay, if Soul is okay, I'm gonna be okay. So I'd like to see where that ends up being like, and seeing if Soul is not okay, it's like, oh no, where do we go from here? Okay, yeah, that's for me. Everybody but Rhaenyra, for the fact I just know
You're avoiding her.
it's gonna turn into, so how's your dad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Should we go clockwise?
Sure.
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 So I think for Sola, like, she literally just brought Eon back, so there's probably some follow-up to happen there. No idea what that'll look like. Sola is like gonna be overjoyed that Eon is back.
You helped.
Yeah. Really proving to herself and hopefully, too, just how much that blood pact meant to her. We'll find out. She's probably also gonna feel some heartache at E-shift leaving. And so I have a little something planned there too.
Of course you do.
Of course I do, because I can't just like leave anything alone.
Sola has that magic finger.
But aside from that, Sola and Elias have something to do
Beef.
soon.
Yeah. Back to the pit. Here we go.
Because Sola knows that Elias has a particular interest in her for some reason. And I think Sola's a little, I don't know, embarrassed because she just kind of wants to, exist. She never asked for any of this like specialness about herself, but now somebody has taken a very like microscopic interest in it, and she might be as a result forced to like analyze herself and be analyzed. I don't know. We'll have to see where that goes.
Be some analyze.
So many notes.
Yeah. Something that I haven't figured out yet is what or how Sola and Rhaenyra are gonna tie together yet, because I know Rhaenyra had been making a lot of effort to like connect with Scree, but that thread has kind of ended for now, and so Rhaenyra is somebody else that I want to make sure ties into our table still too, and like she's been very mysterious up until recently, so Sola wants to play a part in all of these storylines, and so where does she fit in Rhaenyra's? I don't know yet. But
I think it's you guys kind of have that bridge of like now that we're starting to see Rhaenyra's deity being involved more. Like again, like I always say that Solo's a moral compass, but like you're kind of you have the ability to guide and lead, and be that like I don't know. I think Sola is probably like the leader of this group when it comes to it.
Oh no.
cool.
Yeah. Well, it's most of us like kind of seek approval of Sola. So.
It's true.
Or feel bad when we do something that could have hurt Sola, or we think that she looks down upon it. So.
It's true.
Snacks.
Elias has a lot of people to talk to. Elias needs to talk to everyone. First in the order, though, it's interesting. I feel like Elias is probably between either like really wanting to delve more in with Sola, or figuring out what is up with Eon, because there's also a lot of
coming back to life.
Interesting.
Bit of a thing.
Well, there's a lot of like Elias doesn't know it yet, but like the time with Eon and blood magic and everything like that is going to be very important to him, and like the divine ties to are like a path that he's really trying to chase right now, which everyone has, in whether it's the blood relations or the divine relations. So I think he's going to be torn on that. He doesn't know it, but he's going to have to talk to Ramsay pretty soon.
Yeah.
And probably after seeing Rhaenyra and her like interaction with her god is like, well, maybe she's a lead. I need to follow more now too. But after Sola, it's like, well,
just a lot going on.
there's a lot happening, and there's a lot of things to talk to, a lot of people to talk to, and a lot of things to talk about. But
Ooh, save it.
ooh,
Time
got
number
it.
2.
Just enough.
yeah. So
Just making.
Hell yeah.
yeah, it feels like there is so many avenues to take.
And we'll have opportunities for that too.
I mean, if we're going to be traveling soon.
The cart's not that big.
Someone can ride horse if we take horse. I don't know. Are we bringing Fizzle with us?
Need a
We'll
driver.
have to see. I don't quite know where we're going next, so.
No,
None of us
that's-
do.
Yeah, we kind of had picked a place, but then Isha
Yeah.
left on her own to go
Yeah.
there, so we kind of need a new place now.
I
Wow.
made the joke at dinner that like how funny it would be like Ishiv's car breaks down, we roll up behind.
Need a ride?
Hi.
Yeah.
I have a feeling she's gonna get waylaid a little bit on the way, but like we had decided to go not quite to her end goal, but like
Yeah,
like
Silver
to her
Moon.
town
We were
or
heading to
whatever.
Silvery Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I mean,
So-
Elias is still going to petition for that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Got it.
and we still, the only reason Ishif wanted to because it was heading north. That's
Mhm.
it. She didn't care so much about going to Fairway or whatever. But, so yeah, it's interesting. There will be time for that. Yeah, that's good.
Cool.
Yeah. As for myself, I think actually Eon's gonna be kind of like withdrawn for a little bit. I think she's gonna be like a little bit weirded out by the encounter, and we'll process it probably by being probably a little bit quieter for a time, but not like
Yeah.
not like reverting all the way back. But I think she'll be really awkward for a bit. Plus, there's like a new person in the party. Plus, she's just gonna probably completely ignore the whole A-shift thing because she was here for a few minutes and
Yeah.
now she's gone.
Yeah.
We don't need to spend any time thinking about what that means.
That was weird. Moving on.
Yeah, I think she's gonna get engrossed in whatever we settle on. She's building or working on. It may or may not be something significant. It might just be tinkering, and but I think she'll kind of focus on that. And then I think realistically, like her and Ramsey will definitely have a conversation. Realistically, as soon as she figures out you're into blood magic, she's probably gonna try and steal your notebook.
Volume 150.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
ooh.
but like right now she doesn't know that. But whenever we'll have to see what the context is. But whenever that
Yeah.
reveals itself,
Yeah.
she's definitely gonna take note, like in a very compulsive kind of way.
Yeah.
It'll be
Fun.
So, because it is literally her compulsion, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, we'll have a travel session for this for whatever
yeah.
reason.
da da da. But yeah, I think we are overdue for some stuff, and like, I think if anything, Eon still has unresolved stuff with Scree, but she'll just like pack that away forever. But like, yeah, I think she'll probably like want to make sure that Scree is alive. That'll be important, and then
So then she Volo.
there's always Volo.
There's always Volo.
There's always Volo. Haven't forgotten about him. Maybe he's died. Maybe in everything that's happened, maybe he died.
Is Volo dead?
I don't know.
Damn it.
Neither do we. That I hope
Where
not.
the
Yeah, I know.
We should kill him. We really should.
I will say, Volo will not die in a way that is off screen.
Volo has to
It's
die.
making
It
it
has to go. It'll have its own moment.
What's so funny is like me, Janelle, does not want to murder this man, but it's now just become canon. And Volo must die.
Eon?
Yeah.
I'll know
Yeah.
I've succeeded when I've converted both of you.
Yeah.
I just have to get there first.
Yeah. That vengeance, that grudge will never be satiated until he dies.
Great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Mhm.
Anybody else have anything? I don't have anything.
Just trying to think.
We talked about it a lot. Let's
Yeah.
go have a good cry.
Yeah.
A good cry.
Yeah.
Drink our drinks. Say goodbye to Gerald.
I've enjoyed seeing the candle. Like,
I'm wondering if that has to be a new tradition now.
For I Can't Make Wednesday,
Yeah.
we burn
Sure.
the skull candle precariously.
Oh,
Must
yeah.
hold it.
I can't make Wednesday, and I won't make the next one either.
Dribbles over.
Oh gosh.
This is how we keep Ishif alive. We light a flame.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
Her
Ishiv's
skull.
skull.
We need to put horns on it.
Oh my god.
Man, there's something in that. That's a good idea.
Well,
Awesome.
Cool.
it's another one in the bag, kids.
All right. Thank you for joining us for I Can't Make Wednesday, this in-betweeny episode of Power Word Play. Hi, hey, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.